Hi guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 8, Week 6. We're doing Set 2 on page 7. Question 1 says, considering the following matchstick pattern, copy and complete this table of values. So this number of steps is these ones. This is the first step, step 1. This is step 2, step 3, and step 4. And to fill a table of values, we just have to find how many matchsticks there are in each step. So step 1 has 3 matchsticks, so there's 3. Step 2 has 6, step 3 has 9, step 4 has 12. Okay. Question B. Write in words a rule that describes the number of matches needed to form each step in the pattern. So we need to make a relationship between the X and Y, or the number of steps and the number of matches. So how do I get from this number 1 to number 3? Well, it's from 1 to 3 we're going up in value. So that means you're either adding or multiplying. So you can either add 2 or you can multiply by 3. From number 2 to get to 6, you can either add 4 or times 3. And you can clearly see the pattern by now, I think. From 3 you can either add 6 or times 3. So the adding is not going to work because it's always changing, but if you multiply, you can see that all we got to do is multiply by 3 and get the second number. So from the first number, we just multiply it by 3 and we get a second number there. Alright, so it wants us to write in words this kind of relationship. So we can say something like the number of matches is the result of the number of steps multiplied with 3. Question C says rewrite this rule using the pronumerals x and y. So this will be your x and this will be your y. So y is equal to 3 times x. So we write y equals to 3x. Question D says plot the points from the table on a number grid and show their coordinates. Extend the graph by plotting the next 2 points in the pattern. Okay, so let me just refill this table out. 3, 6, 9, 12. So what they want us to do is plot this onto a Cartesian plane. And then they want us to extend this, the points, and plot the next 2 points. So we want to plot the points for step 5 and step 6. For step 5, you're going to get 15, and step 6, you're going to get 18. So let's plot this on the graph. Okay, I've prepared a graph here. Alright, so let's look at the first one. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 3. So let's plot that here. When x is equal to 1, 1's is right. Oops, let me just... Yep. So 1 is right here. Wait, where's my... Oh, okay. Right. So when x equals to 1, y is equal to 3. So there's your first point, your first coordinate. Next one, when x equals to 2, y equals to 6. X equals to 2, y is equal to 6. So that means the coordinate is there. Alright, next one, you got x equals to 3, y equals to 9. So 3 and 9, whoops, it's this one here. X equals to 4, y equals to 12. So you got 4. And if I extend that all the way up, I'll get 12 up somewhere here. 12 will be here. Whoops. Let's do that again. And then we want to do 5 and 6 as well. So step 5 will be x equals to 5, y equals to 15. So 5 and 15 would look somewhere like here. I'm just drawing a line to get an accurate coordinate mapping. When x equals to 6, obviously you got 18, so it's right here. Right, there we go. Now I could draw a line that goes through all of this. I'm going to draw a line in color blue. That goes through all of this. Whoops, let's do that again. There we go, perfect. And this blue line will be your equation y equals to 3x, which is what we had here. Okay, now that was question D. Question E says, would it make sense to join the dots? Explain your answer. Yes, it would make sense to join the dots, because then we can get this graph. We can get this line. And from the line, we can use this line to determine any other value. So let's say I want to do 3.5. I can just go up from the 3.5 and I can see what value this is graphically. It'll be this one. If I have the correct measurements, then I can get that number there, which should be what? 21, 10.5 or something like that. Yeah, okay. So we can use that to find values. Alright, next one. Question F says, how many matches would be needed to form the figure in step 10? Okay, well, we can do this two ways. We can either, draw graphically and see what we get. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 will be somewhere here. You just draw a line up and see where it hits the line, this line here. Okay, which I'm not going to do. Or you can just use the equation. So we can say, well, if y equals to 3x, the number matches, so the y is the number of matchsticks and x is the number of steps. If the steps is 10, if this is 10, then y is equal to 3 times 10, which equals to 30. So the answer here would be 30 matchsticks, or matches. Okay, so that's for question 1. Now let's have a look at question 2. Whoops. I need to rub this out. Hold on. Whoops. Alright. So question 2 says, answer the following question for each matchstick pattern below. And it says 1, copy and complete this table value. So we can't do this question because there's no diagram for the matchsticks. Like in question 1, there's this diagram here. But for question 2, for some reason, I don't know if it came to the printing or the editing, but the matchstick, there's no picture. So we can't do this question. So we can just skip this question and move on to the next page. Okay. Let me turn off the drawing guide. Don't need that anymore. Question 3 says, copy and complete each table values, then graph the equation on a number plane. So this is the easy one. Y equals to x. We have to complete this table value using that equation. If y equals to x, then that means that for the first one, if x equals 0, then y is equal to 0. X equals to 1, y equals to 1, and so on. Because y is equal to x. They're equal to each other. Now we need to plot this on the graph. So we say, let's look at these coordinates. 0, 0. That means this is the 0, 0, the coordinate. The next one is 1, 1. So when x equals to 1, y equals to 1. So it's right here. And 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. So that means that when we draw the line, all you gotta do is just do something like this. There you go. It's gonna be a straight line. Okay. And this will be about 45 degrees. So it's perfectly in the middle. Okay. Next one. Y equals to 2x. Okay, so when x equals to 1, minus 1, y is equal to 2 times that amount. So 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. When x equals to 0, 2 times 0 is equal to 0. The rubber, just change the rubber. When x equals to 1, 2, this will be 4 and 6. So we can just graph it like this. So 0, 0 is the origin, is the point here. When x equals to 1, y equals to 2. So 1 and 2. So the point will be there. 2 and 4. Okay, we don't need to do all of them. Just 2 points is enough. We've got 3 points here. So I'm just going to draw a line that goes through all of these points. And it should look something like this. There's your... Draw the arrows as well to indicate that this is a line that goes through all the way, not an interval. Alright, I'm going to skip question C. I might do question... Let's see, what else? I'll do question D. Just to give you an example here. This will be x plus 2. So, when x equals to minus 2, y is equal to minus 2 plus 2, which gives me 0. So there's 0 there. Oops. When x equals to minus 1, so y is equal to minus 1 plus 2. Minus 1 plus 2 will be 1. When x equals to 0, so y equals to 0 plus 2, that makes it 2, and so on. We just have to add 2 to the top number. So 1 plus 2 will be 3, 2 plus 2 will be 4, and so on. So you can just use these coordinates and graph it again. So negative 2 when x is minus 2, y is equal to 0. So that's the coordinate right there. Okay, when x is equal to negative 1, y is equal to 1. So x equals to negative 1, y equals to positive 1. So right there. X equals to 2, when x equals 0, y equals to 2. So right there, another one. X equals to 1, y equals to 3. And you can see there's a line. You can see the pattern there. I'm just going to draw a line for you. And there's your line. Alright, let's do question F. I'm not going to graph this one, I'm just going to show you the coordinates. So y is equal to minus x. So when y is equal to minus 2, when x equals to minus 2, y is equal to negative of that number. So it'll be, what's minus of minus 2? It will just be positive 2. So this will be 2. Okay, we're just reversing the signs. And this, so when x equals to negative 1, y is equal to 1. X equals 0, y equals 0. X equals to 1, y equals to minus 1. And then minus 2. And then you can graph that one. Shouldn't be too hard. Alright, let's go on to the next page. Let's try something a bit trickier. How about this one here? Question G. First, I'm going to fill in the table of values. So, when x is equal to minus 1. So, what's y? Y is equal to 4 minus a minus 1. Right? So, I'm going to put a bracket so you can see clearly that that's x right there. Minus a minus, that becomes a plus. So, that's 4 plus 4, which equals to 8. So, this should be... oops. Oh, why did I put minus 4? Sorry. That should be minus 1. So that means 4 plus 1 equals to 5. So that should be a 5. Okay, next one. When x equals 0, so y is equal to 4 minus 0, which is 4. Next one. If x equals to 1, 4 minus 1, it'll be 3, 2, 1, and so on. Okay, now you can graph this one. Now, when you graph this one, the line's going to be in this direction. So let's have a look. Let's try 0. When x equals to 0, y equals to 4. So here's your x equals to 0, okay? Y equals to 4, which is right here. There's your first coordinate. Let's do... Oops. Alright. When x equals to 1, y equals to 3. X equals to 1, y is equal to 3, right here. X equals to 2, y equals to 2, x equals to 3, y equals to 1. There we go. Now we just have to graph this. And your graph should look something like this. Alright. Let's do I'll do these two questions here. Maybe I'll do question J and I. J and L. J and L. Okay. Alright, the first one, we need to fill in the table of values, okay? So 3x minus 1. So if x is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 3 times minus 2 and then minus 1, which equals 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. Minus 6 minus 1 is minus 7. So this will be minus 7. If x equals to minus 1, so that's 3 times minus 1 minus another 1, so equals to negative 3 minus 1 is equal to negative 4. Alright. When x equals to 0, so that's y is equal to 3 times 0 minus 1. 3 times 0 is 0, minus 1 is minus 1. When x equals to 1, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. When x equals to 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. There you go. Then you just have to plot that on the graph. So, and then, alright, I'm not going to do that one, I'm not going to plot it. Plotting shouldn't be too hard. The only thing for the plotting is you need to know how to find the coordinates for this. So when x equals to minus 2, y is equal to minus 7. So you find that on the graph. So x equals to minus 2, y is equal to minus 7, which is all the way down here somewhere. We can't see it because it's out of the graph picture there. So instead of using that, let's use minus 1 and minus 4. When x equals to minus 1, y equals to minus 4. So here's your minus 1 for x. Go all the way down to minus 4. There's your other coordinate. When x equals to 0, y equals to minus 1. So there's that one there. And you can just do the other points and graph the equation there. Next one, just do a quick one here. Again, just fill in the table of values. Okay, I'll do a quick one here. So let's see. So when y is equal to minus 4, x equals to minus 4, y is equal to a half of x, a half of minus 4, and then plus 5 according to the equation there. So that means, what's a half of minus 4? That's minus 2. Minus 2 plus 5 equals to 3. So this answer here will be 3. Next one, when x equals to minus 2 now. So when x equals to minus 2, so I'll be a half of minus 2 plus 5. A half of minus 2 is what? Is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 5 is just 4. Next one, 0. Well, that's easy. That's just 5, isn't it? Next one, 2. When x equals to 2. So, let me just double check something. Alright. So when x equals to 2, that means y equals to a half of 2. And then plus 5. A half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. And you can see from the pattern here that this next one is going to be 7. And you can also check that as well. Alright, so when you graph this, you need to be careful that this is minus 4. Okay, minus 4, we start here and we go. So when x is minus 4, y is 3. So 4 and then 3, which is here. The next number is minus 2. So we're skipping the minus 3, we're going to minus 2. When x is minus 2, y is equal to 4. So we're going to down to 4. When x is 0, y is 5. So, and then it looks like if I draw the graph, it's going to go, we can't plot these points because it's off the graph. I mean, we can if we extend the graph, but let's just draw the graph here for this one. There you go. That's your graph there. Well, that's the line for y equals to a half of x plus 5. There you go. Alright, the rest you can do by yourself. Now let's go to the next page. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do these ones. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through question 4. Now for question 5, let me just Okay, so for question 5 and the rest we'll do in class. I'll do question 4. So that's it says use a table of values to draw the graph of each equation. So I prepared a graph and I'm going to turn back drawing guide on. Now y equals to 2x. Alright, let's just do a quick table of values for the first one, A here. This is question A. Whoops, wait, let me just... Okay, this is question A. Now, let's do a quick table of values. Alright, this is your X, this is your Y. Actually, I'll put it here. Oops. Just a couple of points will be enough. That's it. Alright. So for the first one, y equals to 2x, I'm just going to put maybe, I'm just going to do maybe 0, 0, maybe 1 and 2. Just 3 points is enough. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. When x equals to 1, y is equal to 2. And when x equals to 2, y equals to 4. So let's plot the points. Here's your x equals to 0, y equals 0, which is right here. When x equals to 1, y equals to 2. So here's 1 and here's 2. There's another point. When x equals to 2, y equals to 4. There's your 4, there's 2. Draw the line, which will look like this. There you go, done. Let's do the next one. I'm gonna rub this out. Okay, we're doing question B now. So this is question, it's question A, this is question B. Okay. Question B, when it says y equals x plus 1. So let's fill out the table of values again. Y equals to x. So when x is equal to, let's just put in the numbers here. I'm just going to put in, let's just fill this out here. I'm going to have x equals to, let's try minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Good enough, 4 points. Okay, so when x is equal to 0, we're doing question B, which is y equals x plus 1. 0 plus 1 will be 1, so that's to be 1 here. When x equals to minus 1, minus 1 plus 1 is 0, and you can just figure out the rest will be 2 and 3. Then you can just draw this on the graph for question B. So when x equals to minus 1, y equals to 0, which is right there. When x equals to 0, y equals to 1. When x equals to 1, y is equal to 2. When x equals to 2, y equals to 3. And you can see the graph there. There we go, all done. There's your graph. Y is equal to x plus 1. Alright, next one. I'm going to rub this stuff out. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Did I write this? What is this? Oops. Okay. Alright, next one we're gonna do, I'm just gonna do maybe some trickier one. These are really easy ones. I'll do maybe this one here. I'll do question E. Question E is y equals to a third of x. So x divided by 3. So when x is equal to, I'm just gonna skip this one. I'm just gonna do 0, 1, 2. 1, 2 is enough. Okay, so when x equals 0, well, 0 divided by 3 is just 0. When x equals to 1, y equals to 1/3, and when x equals to 2, y equals to 2/3. There you go. So graph that on here. Let's pretend this is 1. Wait, hold on. Yep, actually, let's pretend this is 1. And this will be 1, 2, 3. So this will be 1 here. 0. Okay, so when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So there's your coordinate there. When x equals to 1, y equals to... Oh, actually, I'm just gonna do this 1, 2, 3. Alright, when x equals to 1, y equals to 1/3. So y is about here somewhere. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2/3. And obviously when x equals to 3, well, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So this will be 1. There you go. Draw the line, which should look something like this. There you go. That's your line. Y equals to 1/3 x. I might do one more, which is question H. Alright, I'm going to use this. I'm going to fill this table of values out again. So for question H, you got y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Okay, so let's fill out the table values. When x is equal to 0, that's 5 minus 2 times 0, which is 0. 5 times, yep, so that'll be 5. When x is equal to 1, so that's 2 times 1. 5 minus 2 times 1, which is 5 minus 2, which is 3. When x is equal to 2, 5 minus 4, which is 1. There we go. Now let's plot that on the graph. So when x equals 0, y is equal to 5. So let's say this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 5, which is somewhere here. That's 5. When x equals to 1, y equals to 3, which is somewhere here. When x equals to 2, y equals to... Whoops. Alright, so when x equals to 1, which is there, then it should be 3, which is here. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1, which is here. Now we can just draw the graph. And your graph should look something like this. This is your y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Done. Okay. The rest you can do on your own. And you can leave question 5, 6, 7, 8, and set 3 we can do for next week. Okay, hope that helps.